Hey everybody, I'm about to show you a garden that blew my mind the first time I saw it. Everything I thought I knew about tree spacing and management and how to plant trees a certain distance from each other, all the things that I thought I knew about that completely went out the window when I saw this garden for the first time. I quickly learned that there's no rules to that. And if you have a small space, like in the garden I'm about to show you, you can pack the trees in, you can pack them and plant them really close to each other in a true forest style. If you go to any forest in the world, you'll see huge trees placed really, really close to each other. And this garden mimics that. This is the garden of my friend. I've known her for a few years now, and she's been gardening in this area, Southern California, Zone 10, for many, many years now. So she knows what she's doing. She knows what to plant, where to plant it, how to take care of it, what to treat it if it gets sick, these kind of things. But she's always experimenting, always adding something new. Every time I go to her garden, there's something new planted there. There's something new and exciting going on. So it's a really fascinating place to see. Again, it's not a huge space. It's a little bigger lot than most backyards, I would say, but it's in the city. We're in the city, and there's it's limited space. But she's been able to utilize that space in such an efficient way, and the biodiversity that she's been able to pack in to this place is truly mind-boggling, and I want you guys to see it. All right, this was filmed in June. This was again Southern California, Zone 10, and let's go look at this garden. Let's go check it out. It's pretty cool. Let's go look. All right, everybody, check it out. Here we are. We're here in the garden. There's a lot of stuff to see, so I'm just gonna run through it. Here's pineapple guava feijoas. She's a big fan of these things, of these trees. So there are a lot of them planted. Here's one, and then they're planted all along down that row of feijoas. These are delicious fruit. Check out the flower. You see the little flower? That is a will make a fruit, but you can also eat the petals of that flower. It's delicious. Here's a Suriname cherry tree, the Pitanga Eugenia uniflora that we grafted. We're waiting for the grafts to take. Here's one, here's two, here's three grafts. No growth yet. And there's some persimmons. We got nice persimmon trees, different varieties of persimmons planted there. Let me show you some persimmons. There's a persimmon. This is another jabuticaba tree. Wow. This one is one of the biggest ones I've seen in Southern California. It's covered in fruit. Again, a multi-cropper. She gets more than one crop a year. I think more than 6 months of the year this has fruit on it. The jabuticaba. And this one is called Paulista. And it was planted in 1998. She only had to wait 20 years to get fruit, but yeah, now it's a super producer. Look at all the fruit on the ground. Super, super productive tree. Jabuticaba. Really pretty tree too. Really beautiful. This tree really stands out in the garden. It's
The new growth is red, which is really important.
yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. This tree really stands out. It's the new growth is red. It's let me try to get a different angle of the tree. See up there? At certain times of the year, the growth flushes out and it turns red. It's really amazing and beautiful. Over here, this beautiful fruit is the daisy mandarin, developed by the University of California. It's supposed to be an improved version of the mandarin tree. That's what it is here. Then we're gonna see a fig forest. It's really hard to even see inside this. It's so dense, but there's a fig forest. A lot of different varieties of figs, different varieties. The fig tree forest. I'm gonna walk over here, try to get in here. Wow, this place is overgrown. Look at this papaya tree. This is I believe it's called mountain papaya. And believe it or not, this tree is less than 2 years old. There's the trunk of the papaya tree. No, this is the oak leaf papaya. And it was planted in March 2020. So a little over 2 years old. and it's pushing over 12 feet tall. Huge, huge papaya tree. This is the gin berry, related to citrus, and it has tastes like gin. You eat one and it's you're like, wow, they named that very, very well. Over here is a persimmon tree. Let's take a look. Fire crystal persimmon, and that's what it looks like. And then right behind it is the oak leaf papaya, another one, huge one. And then here's a regular papaya. Regular papaya tree planted recently. I think this is one of the newest trees she planted here. And then there's one right next to it. Another papaya tree right next to it. And then over here is some grapefruits, I believe. Let me take a look here. These are Mexican lime. No, is that a grape? Wow, that's a huge lime. It might, I think, well, I don't know. We'll ask. But I don't know. I don't think that's a lime. That's huge for a lime. But it might be. Anyways. Over here, the key apple, Dovialis caffra, native to Africa. It's called the lion tamer or the lion killer or something like that. Something to do with lions, because look at the thorns, crazy thorns on it. And that's supposed to keep lions away from invading villages out in Africa. This is a big one. It makes a fruit that tastes like a sour apricot to me. Some folks really, really love it. Here's a small one, the key apple, Dovialis caffra. Here's blueberries. There's blueberries all over the place here. In different spots, there's blueberries. She loves blueberries. And then over here is the mulberry tree. It's a multi-grafted mulberry tree. There's different varieties on here, like Pakistan, and then the Shangri-La, I believe, and a few other varieties on here. It's a beautiful tree. I know that's a Pakistan back there. The leaves stand out immediately compared to these smaller leaves of another variety. So over here is the guava tree, strawberry guava. Let me walk over here so get a better view. See the flowers on it. Beautiful, delicious fruit. I really like this one. And then this one is the lemon guava, I believe. Yeah, this fruit up there turns yellow. Here's some more fruit. Hopefully you could see that. Lemon guava. Let's walk over here. Oh, here's some papayas. Okay, now we're in the mango forest. This is a mini forest of mango trees. It's amazing. Again, there's no rules when it comes to orchard spacing here. There's no rules on how close you can plant trees to each other. Those kind of rules do not exist over here, and shouldn't exist in your garden either. If you have a small space, you can pack them in. Look at these trees. They got big trunks. They're more than a few years old. They definitely produce fruit. Last time I was here in the late summer, these were covered with mangoes. All different varieties. All different varieties of mangoes here. This is one of my favorite parts of the garden because I love mangoes so much. This is the wampi tree. I don't know the scientific name, but this is one of the most recent trees she planted here. It's called wampi. I'll try to find the scientific name and post it down at the bottom of the video. Here's a cherimoya forest, the Annona forest. Look at this, crazy, amazing. We did some grafts a few months ago here. Looks like a lot of the grafts have taken. We did different varieties. This is a bell cherimoya. That's another bell. Wow, things grow really fast here. These are all tomatoes. They weren't here last time I was here. These are all been planted recently. And then here, right here, is a Cape gooseberry. This plant has a lot of names. I don't know. We call it Cape gooseberry. Other folks call it different names, but it produces a fruit that's like a tomato and like a grape. I think, to me, it tastes like a cross between a tomato and a grape. Really tasty fruit. Let's walk over here. I'll show you the avocado section. This is the avocado section of the yard. We got different varieties here. I believe this is the Gwen. No, this is the Gwen right here. This is a Gwen avocado here. And then we have different varieties here. This is a gem avocado right there. Look how it's growing sideways. You see how it's growing along the ground? Gem avocado. I had one fruit from this tree. It was really good. Really, really good. And now we're walking. Here's probably one of my favorite trees in our garden, the Suriname cherry, Eugenia uniflora, the pitanga. This is the variety called Vermilion. And then we did some grafts on it, but my grafts haven't taken yet. Some of her older grafts are there, but this is a beautiful tree, one of my favorites. And then right next to it is the jujube, different varieties, 2 jujube trees planted really close to each other. And these are late 4 variety, 4 different jujubes here that fruit in the late summer, I believe, right? Yeah, these are great, really sweet. They taste like an apple, but even sweeter. Guava trees. Look at the trunk on these guava trees. They're beautiful. Look at that. Variegated trunk. A fantastically beautiful tree. And usually, last time I was here, there was guavas all over the place. We were stepping on guavas. But look at the canopy. This is a fantastically beautiful tree. Here's another one right next to it. Look at that. Look at the trunk. Wow. The guava. This is the yellow kind.
That's the white. This is the pink.
Oh, the white. Oh, and the pink. Okay.
It's called Turnbull white. This is called Indian red.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Wow. Oh, here's the mangoes. Those are Keat mangoes, hanging on from the tree since last year. So out here in our coastal climate, mangoes take a little bit longer to ripen up, especially the larger ones like Keat. So we're still waiting on those. Here's a pepper that came from Mexico, I believe. It's supposed to be really spicy. Yeah, the Keats are ready? Oh, or the peppers. Oh, yeah. Yeah, the one you gave me was good. I really liked it. It was nice and spicy. Now I'm gonna show you one of the most strange trees I've seen. Look at this, guys. This right here. You recognize this fruit? That is ubajai. Ubajai, I believe it's called. Ubajai. Hey, let me try to get the tag in the view. I can't even say the scientific name, but that's what it's called. Ubajai. Now the flavor on this, you just have to try it. It's it's a Eugenia. Here's one on the floor. Incredibly sour, but a very complex, unique taste. To me, I liked it a lot. Some people might find it overwhelming, but this is a very uniquely interesting and fascinating fruit that I think most folks should try. This is the ubajai. I believe it's a Eugenia relative, not exactly a Eugenia, but a relative of the Eugenia. Okay, now one of the most beautiful trees in the whole yard, the jabuticaba. Jabuticaba. This is amazing. One of my favorite trees to look at. Here's one on the tree. Hopefully you could see that little fruit. Jabuticaba. Look at that. The Brazilian tree grape. Look at all the fruits on the ground. Look at that. This tree is incredibly productive. She tells me that it flowers at least 3 times a year, and she gets so much fruit off it that she can't harvest it all. Some of it ends up on the ground. I think it's set to flower again based on looking at this trunk. Might be little flower buds coming in. So one crop comes in, and as soon as it falls or it gets picked, there's another crop coming in. This is a tree that is super, super productive. The downside is she had to wait almost 20 years for this thing to start fruiting. So if you're patient, you can get some jabuticabas. All right, the pawpaw tree. Look at that. This is a pawpaw tree. The only native annona to North America is this right here, the pawpaw tree. It's related to cherimoyas and atemoyas and custard apples and soursops. They're all cousins or relatives to each other. I don't see any fruit on here. I saw a lot of flowers last time I was here. I don't know what's going on. I'm gonna walk around there and see if there's any fruit. This is a kumquat tree, and here's her dragon fruit collection, all different varieties. She had cut all these out a few years back, but some of them started growing out wildly. The dragon fruit, also known as pitaya. Oh, loquat tree, multi-grafted loquat tree, different varieties. I believe her favorite is Argelina. That's the name of the variety. I'm not a fan of loquats myself personally, but um, I am looking forward to trying the Argelina because, according to her, it's a fantastic, delicious fruit, even for folks who don't like loquats. And there's a loquat, the loquat tree. We're looking at the acerola cherry. There it is, also known as the Barbados cherry. This is one of the most underrated fruits you can grow here in our climate, in a Mediterranean subtropical climate. Incredibly drought tolerant. One of the most drought tolerant trees I've ever experienced. And look at the flowers. Those are nice, beautiful flowers. In a few months, we'll get some fruits that have some of the highest vitamin C content of all the fruits in the world. Fantastically delicious fruit. Yes, yes. So right next to it, look how close. I can't get over how close these trees are planted to each other. It's amazing. And yeah, I quickly realized that there are no rules to this. And this is more of a true forest style planting. If you go to a forest, you'll see trees growing really, really close to each other. And they grow really well and they grow very productively, even if they're really close to each other. There's no one in a forest going over there and making sure each tree is 4 or 5 feet apart. They just grow wild and they grow real well. So right here is the Barbados cherry tree, but right next to it is the cherry of the Rio Grande, Eugenia involucrata, and that's what the fruit looks like. To me, it tastes like as good as any of those temperate climate cherries, like the Bing cherries or the other ones. This is a really delicious fruit. It is a Eugenia, and that's the trunk. Look at the trunk again, variegated, beautiful, beautiful trunk, man. Wow, it's like green and brown, different colors. Wow. And then here's the trunk of the Suriname cherry, Eugenia uniflora, right next to it. Look, they're spaced about 2 feet apart, and they're both growing very, very well. Beautiful trees. Here's a fig tree. Let me see if I could find the variety. I don't know the variety.
That one is the Celeste.
Oh, Celeste fig? This is the Celeste fig. Delicious fig. Big fat trunk. Over here, let's see. Oh, white sapote. The white sapote tree. I believe this is a subel.
Yes.
And then we grafted some varieties up there. We grafted some red lens white sapote up there. Here's the trunk on it. Big fat trunk. And this. Oh, yeah? Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah. Oh, a pineapple. Wow. That's cool. There's the pineapple. Right there. The pineapple. Oh, and right next to it, the black sapote. This is actually related to persimmons. But inside looks nothing like a persimmon. It's also called the chocolate pudding fruit. It's very unique tasting. Some people love it, some people don't. But this is it, the black sapote, and it's really, really productive. It's got a good crop on it this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, looks great.
It does.
Yeah, excellent fruit. There's a few actually. There's a few black sapotes here. They're all planted quite close to each other again. And here's what they look like. This one actually this one's getting soft. Might be ready to pick. And they're all over the place. There's one variety here called Berniker, which I hear is really, really good. It's planted here. I saw the tag earlier. And then we got here Kona Charwell avocado. There's the trunk, the Kona Charwell. This tree's been here for a few years, but she said it's never made a fruit for her. No fruit at all. Yeah. Is that the guamuchil? And then right behind is the guamuchil tree. This is, I believe it's native to Central America or Mexico. And it's a desert fruit. It's a desert tree. It's native to deserts. Small leaves. And it makes a pod-like fruit that's supposed to be really sweet. Have you harvested from it?
One.
Yeah. 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 Okay, we got a jackfruit tree here. Oops, the jackfruit. It's called Black Beauty jackfruit. It's been here for a few years as well. Let's see when it was planted. 2018. It's a grafted tree. Here's the graft. There's the graft. There's the canopy. I love jackfruits. They're an excellent fruit. And no fruit yet, but it's a young tree. Jackfruits take their time to make fruit.
I can't remember what the name of this one back here is with all the signs.
Yeah. Huh. And then everywhere I look on the ground, no space is wasted. No space at all is wasted here. Look, she keeps young fruit trees, young seedlings of different varieties of fruits, all different varieties in pots. Here's some white sapotes. I see some loquats. And I see mostly white sapotes here. But I'll show you another section where she keeps other more exotic fruits in pots. It's really cool. Here's the trunk of the guamuchil tree. Guys, this is the gumi tree. It makes this red fruit. Hopefully you could see that. It's a nitrogen fixer. I think that's it's helping all the plants around it grow really well. And that's what it looks like. The gumi tree. Cool. Here's a passion fruit arbor or a trellis. The passion fruit trellis. Let me show you some of the passion fruits. There they are. You know what variety this is?
Not offhand.
Yeah. Super productive tree, vine, and super productive, super aggressive grower. Wow, look at this. So many passion fruits here. If you want to feel like a really good gardener, plant a passion fruit because it'll take over and you'll be really happy with yourself. All right, let's walk here. This is the banana forest. This banana section. I believe over here there's dwarf Brazilian banana, and then there's Gros Michel, which is a rare fruit nowadays. It's a rare banana. It was the main commercial banana before the Cavendish came into production. I believe this one is the Gros Michel, the tall one, the big one. But that's the Gros Michel. I like it a lot. I think it's better than Cavendish. It's a delicious fruit. I believe all these are dwarf Brazilians. I believe. I'm not sure. Okay. Oh, I gotta show you guys this. Look at this. Look at this curiosity here. What's going on? Look at the rootstock. And then here's the graft. Rootstock, graft. Look at that. This is an overachieving scion. This is the Persian Shah-Tut grafted onto a standard mulberry rootstock. And let's look up into the canopy of the Persian Shah-Tut mulberry. Is there any fruit? Oh yeah, here's some fruit. There's some Persian mulberries right there. Yeah. Here's the section with all the potted plants, all different varieties, all different kinds of plants in pots. This is like a nursery and a garden, everything in one. Here's a this is the longan. The longan tree. There's the flowers there. This tree produces for her every year. She gets longans. There's the trunk. And then right behind it is, again, the jackfruit, one of my favorites. I love jackfruit so much. I have a few planted at my house. And here's some This is one of the bigger jackfruits I've seen in Southern California. There it is. This tree is pushing 20 feet tall. It's a big tree. Jackfruits get huge. This is a seedling. No jackfruits yet, but we keep our hands crossed. I mean, our fingers crossed. Yeah, jackfruits, amazing. And then here's some more. This is a selection here, a white sapote. It's grafted here. This variety is called Coleman, the Coleman white sapote. This one is more like an apple. You can bite into it when it's hard, and it's a really sweet, delicious fruit. I believe it's a seedling of Subel. There's the fruit, the Coleman white sapote. And then here's one of our favorites, our feijoas, the pineapple guavas, and here's a bunch of them planted in pots. Little mini nursery of pineapple guavas. And here's some more white sapotes in the ground. More white sapotes. This is a rare variety of white sapote. Let me show you. This is called lemon gold. The lemon gold white sapote. And then behind it is the arbor. The gazebo that's covered in passion fruit. That is amazing. Passion fruits attract a lot of pollinating insects. They're a great addition for your yard. Guys, this is like a whole ecosystem going on around here, right? There's not just these fruit trees. If you walk around here, you'll see ground cover plants, succulents, different natives, different flowering plants that attract insects. There's a lot going on here. Of course, if you look here, here's the path, and if you walk up, there's at least a foot layer thick of mulch, of ground cover, of organic matter that breaks down and feeds all these plants. Without that mulch layer, none of this would be possible. None of these plants would be here. There's a lot of watering, but there's also a lot of this ground cover and leaf cover. Look at all these leaves. It's like a forest. I can just keep digging down here. I won't hit the ground. I won't hit the soil until I have to keep digging. And I see a fallen avocado right here. This is the gem avocado. It's on the ground. There's a slug on it. Here you go. But I want to talk about how all this is possible, and probably the most important aspect of this garden is the ground cover, is the heavy, thick layer of wood chips. We see some wood chips here, wood chips and mulch, and just leaves that's been generated over the years. Many years of leaves falling have helped these trees out tremendously to grow out here out here in our dry climate. Let me show you this. It's a bunch of tomatoes. It's like a thick covering little mini forest of tomatoes and flowering plants and different stuff around here. Right next to the mango forest. All right, everyone, now we're in the front yard of this beautiful, epic food forest situation we have here. Let me walk you through it. Here's some rose bushes. And now is another mini mango forest. Look at all the little mangoes on this tree. This is amazing, amazing fruit set. This is called the Beverly Mango. I've had one before. It's really good. There's others mangoes here. I believe here there's coconut cream, Cogs Hall, cotton candy, peach cobbler, and a handful of others. And they're all protected by these thorny roses because, they're mangoes, Look at that. Several mango trees packed in really close to each other. It looks amazing. Here's the ice cream bean. Inga edulis. Look at that. This can become a huge tree. This tree can actually get as tall as this tree, this giant tree above us. I've seen big ones out in the tropics. They get massive. But there's the Inga edulis, more ground cover for plants here. Looks like some California natives and various flowering plants. And then look over there. more feijoas. She loves the feijoas. She's a big fan. Big enough fan to plant a mini feijoa forest. It's beautiful. Look in there. Look, it's like a little orchard. And there's some migrating ducks or mallards that like to nest right there. They usually show up around sunset time. I don't know if they're here this time of year, but that's their little spot. But look at all these feijoas, all different varieties. Different varieties in here. And here's the really cool flower. If you could see that. I'll try to come here in the sun and show you another one of the flowers. Here's a flower. Look at that. That's pretty. And that petal right there is edible. You can eat it. And it tastes really good. Surprisingly, really good. Here's another one. Those are edible right here where my fingers are. Delicious. Let's look over here. Look, avocado tree, Jan Boyce. The Jan Boyce avocado. This is the connoisseur's avocado. This is Julie Frink's, one of Julie Frink's favorite avocados. She's the curator of the avocado collection out in the University of California, Irvine. And this is what the tree looks like. This is a delicious, delicious avocado that you will not be able to find in the grocery store. And here's some fruit. There's some fruit. Even the squirrels love them. Look at that. I'm not the only one with squirrel problems, people. Look at that. So the season is around now. March, April, May, June. You can start picking those. Here's some more avocados. There's Reed. There's a Reed avocado. There's a Carmen Hass avocado. There's another jackfruit tree right here. This is another grafted variety. It's called Orange Crush. The Orange Crush jackfruit. Here's a graft down there. And it's grown out. Looking pretty good. Yeah. So the story here is there's two Jan Boyces planted really, really close to each other. Whoa. Two Jan Boyce avocados really, really close to each other. Yeah, not deliberately. All right, now I want to show you probably one of my favorite fruit trees. It's, in my opinion, probably the best looking fruit tree. One of the best looking fruit trees is this one right here. This is the rose apple. I'll put the scientific name down in the bottom of the video because I can't pronounce it. It's like Zizigum jambos, I believe. Yeah. But look at this. This fruit is incredible. This tree is incredible. It's here's the new leaves. They're like this bright red, purplish, neon, almost neon colored new leaves here. Let me try to get in the sun. And then the older leaves are dark green. This is a beautiful tropical looking tree. And then the flowers are incredible as well. Look at the flower. Hope you could see that. Makes a massive flower. And if you stand close to this tree when it's in full flower, there's a constant buzz because bees love this tree. They love congregating and getting the nectar from those flowers right there. Hopefully you could see. And then here's some fruit. Here's the fruit. And it'll get a little bit bigger. It gets to a little bit bigger than a golf ball. And the fruit tastes like roses. You bite into it, you get the essence of a rose and the sweetness of a sweet fruit. This is a winner of a tree. It checks all the boxes in terms of looks, production. It's a hyper productive tree. Look at all these little future fruits, and there's a little bee doing its work there. Makes beautiful flowers, and it's a low maintenance, no fuss kind of tree. Pretty awesome. Here's the, what is this called? The melon?
Dulce.
Pepino dulce. That's right, yeah. I believe it's related to cucumber.
Sweet cucumber. It's not sweet. It's not a cucumber.
I've had one before.
Kind of like a melon.
Yeah, it's like a mini melon. It's a very aggressive grower. It takes over. You look here on the ground. There's a mango. I believe this is called sunrise or sunset mango. No, sorry, Phoenix. This is the Phoenix mango. Yeah, Phoenix mango. A little guava back there. Some tropical palms. This is a yeah. Oh yeah, which one is this? Yeah, let's look at the. Let's. Oh, I can't walk over there. I want to step on plants, but it's a mini mango tree right there, right back there. And then here is a peach tree. And then right next to it is a nice big apricot tree. This is called. Where I had one of these. It's a really tasty apricot. And the season looks like it's over for now. The apricot. And there it is, folks. Oh, last tree. Let me go walk over there and show you the last tree. The last tree here. This is the Australian finger lime. Look at this. This is such a crazy, funky, thorny tree. There's the finger lime. It's a citrus. It's a citrus relative. No, it is a citrus, not a relative. There's the finger lime. And there's the fruit. And what this tree does, you open the fruit and it looks like caviar. And it's tart as can be. There it is, the finger lime. Really funky, interesting fruit is the finger lime. Yeah, fantastic. All right, folks. There's a lot more ground. Oh, here's some blueberries. Blueberries and other plants here. So just like that, I hope you guys enjoyed seeing all these fantastic fruits. More to come. More to come.